Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Beyond the Cage podcast presented by Fight Chicks. I am your host, Jim Graham. Alongside me is the Juice, Dave Sadler. We have a special guest joining us on the line. He will be making his third appearance for the UFC on the undercard of UFC 181 in Las Vegas. He is Mr. Alex White. And Alex, thanks for coming back on Beyond the Cage.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Now, of course, Alex, we last talked to you just before your UFC debut, all the way back in April. So I was wondering, how was your summer?
It wasn't too bad. Had a fight in between there, so working on my third fight.
Now, of course, back in April, you were able to win your UFC debut, and was that moment everything you thought it would be, all the hard work and time and effort that you put into the sport to have it kind of all pay off with that victory back in April?
Truthfully, I mean, that's how I was wanting to end it. I just thought, nothing against the guy. I just thought I was going to go, like into the second round or something like that.
Now, of course, with your win in your debut against Payan, you earned one of the Fight of the Night performance bonuses, and I was wondering, did you do anything cool with that extra payday?
Basically, what I did is got all my bills paid off. I got a vehicle, and I got the rest in the bank. Going to be saving up for a house.
That's exactly what I would have done. If Dana gave me a check for $50,000, I would have walked directly to the people that I owed with cash and been like, "Here you go," just to pay everybody off, so I didn't have any bills left.
Man, it's nice not having no bills, It's just insurance and rent,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, it sounds like that would be great.
Now, what type of vehicle did you get?
I got a 2006 Chevy Colorado. It's a truck.
Nice.
Okay.
See, that's what I like about Alex, man. He could have gone out and bought a sports car. No, he bought a truck, a used truck, no payment, right?
No payment, just I paid it outright.
Look at that. That's awesome.
All right. Now, after that, you fought Lucas Martins. Was that the toughest fight you've had so far in your career?
I'd probably say so. I mean, he's a great fighter. And, it's just, it brought me to the realization of going back to the basics, and play the mix game, just not one game. So all I did was just stand up, which I should have done, takedowns, clinch, and all that. So that fight was kind of an eye-opener.
Now, of course, he hit you. You got in your shots as well, but he hit you with some hard shots in that fight. And I was wondering, did he seriously injure you or anything, or were you able to come out, after a week or two, relatively all right?
Oh yeah, I was fine afterwards. My pride was hurt. But I was just fine afterwards. I was laughing and back in the back. It's just like I said, it's just. The food tasted bad afterwards. You got that taste of the loss, and the food didn't taste as good. But hopefully this time I can change that up.
Now, of course, as you said, that fight didn't go your way. You said maybe mixing it up, maybe something that you do for the future. But is there anything else you kind of learned from that fight against Martins?
Yeah, like I mentioned, I got to go back to the basics. I let my hands down. Maybe moving my head, just simple stuff like that I didn't show in that fight, and it bothered me. So, I went back to the basics, worked on it, and also I worked on my mix game.
So enough about those old fights. Let's talk about some current stuff going on. Have you been able to watch The Ultimate Fighter at all this year, Alex?
No, I haven't.
No.
I got Hulu.
Well,
I have Hulu.
So, hey, it's been a good season, so, maybe you get a big bonus and you'll be able to buy it on DVD or something like, I don't know. With going on The Ultimate Fighter, would that have been something that you would have been open to? Would you think you would have liked that, or are you just a little more content with the way that you got to the UFC?
I think I'm more content the way I got into the UFC. I've watched it, before. I haven't watched the new ones. I don't know, it just seemed like a lot of stuff you gotta deal with,
Right.
in the house and all that. It just seemed like a lot of drama you had to put up with, and I mean, I'm just, laid back. So.
Well, I know that you're out in Vegas getting ready for everything. It's probably a lot warmer than it is back here in the Midwest. But since you've been out there, the UFC announced their new uniform deal with Reebok. Did you get a chance to look at any of that kind of information, or are you kind of like us? You're just kind of playing it by ear? And if you have seen anything, do you have any thoughts on the policy?
I'm just kind of playing it by ear. They gave us a little, talking a little bit about it, but they didn't get into it very much.
Yeah.
Just basically them being the only sponsorship, and they're gonna do it like in levels, basically, of what you're ranked. So the thing, it's gonna suck because of all your other sponsorships that you've had that you can't use again.
Yeah, we just had a pretty long discussion about the whole thing, and to me, it's one of those. At the beginning, it sounds like it's going to be good. The fighters are going to get paid, but I want the fighters, such as yourself, to kind of, see the numbers, see where everything lays out. Because remember, they only announced it 24 hours ago. So how much information is really out there? They're not going to implement it for another 8 months. So it's one of those things to me, all the fighters should be somewhat happy, maybe, but let's see how everything unfolds leading up to July before everybody starts bashing it. That's kind of my thoughts on it, but
it's just one of those things that you don't know how much sponsorships they'll give you, or how much you get out of them. That I guess it could be like a double-edged sword,
Today's Wednesday at noon, and you have to step on a scale in about 48 hours. So how's that looking? How's the weight cut going?
Actually, it's not doing too bad. Last night I got to 153, and this morning, I was 154. So just got a little more to go. So I think 48 hours I'll be fine.
Awesome. Hey, I know I talked about it before. How's the weather out there? Got to be better than Missouri, huh?
Yeah. Just last night it rained. Like you can't even really go out walking last night. This morning it was sprinkling a little bit. So I don't know if we brought some of the Missouri River hail or what.
Yeah, I walked out. Oh, go ahead.
I will like 50 up into 60 degrees here though, so it is nicer than Missouri.
Yeah. I walked out of the gym last night, and there was snow on the windshield, and I was like, oh boy, December in Illinois, I guess. But so anyway, we were talking about your weight just a second ago. Did you you had the fight coming up at the beginning of December, but how was Thanksgiving knowing that you had a weight cut coming up? Were you able to still have Thanksgiving?
Not really. I had to stick to my diet still. But my coach's wife, Erica, she promised me a Thanksgiving dinner after all this. So, I'll make up for it.
That's what.
Yeah. I'm more of a Christmas type guy anyway, so.
Cool. That's what she'll get you for Christmas. She'll get you a Thanksgiving dinner for Christmas. That seems fair. All right. Well, UFC 181 Saturday. You're the first fight on Fight Pass, and your opponent is Clay Collard. Tell us what you know about him, and maybe kind of what you see in this game.
I know that he's a stand-up guy like me. He likes to pressure, once again, just like me, I like to go forward too. So I think we're going to put on a good show. You know, you got two stand-up guys, you know, going at it, trying to take each other's heads off. But like I said, I'm not just going to work my stand-up. I'm also going to work my mix game. So hopefully you guys will see a new me.
Jim Graham and Dave Sadler with Alex the Spartan White here on Beyond the Cage, presented by Fight Chicks. And in your fight against Clay on Saturday, what are you going to have to do to be successful against him?
I think I'm just going to have to continue to put the pressure on, you know. Hopefully my cardio will outlast his. And then after that, just work my mix game, you know, dirty box, rush him to the ground, and you know, ground and pound.
Now, of course, UFC 181 has the two big main event fights for some UFC titles. The first one is at 155 pounds between Anthony Pettis and Gilbert Melendez, and I was wondering if you had a pick for that fight for the lightweight title.
I'd probably say, like, I'm not into it, but I'm going to say Pettis.
And then I'll have the same question for the actual main event for the welterweight championship. Any pick there on Robbie Lawler and Johnny Hendricks, Alex?
I'm gonna say Johnny Hendricks.
Mark it down, Jim. Then we'll see where he's at the end. We'll see how good his picks are.
All right, the last question we have for you, Alex. I don't know if you knew this, but earlier this year, in September, the UFC released one of their batches of cards, Topps, the UFC Champion set, and it featured yourself in the set, your first ever UFC card. And I was wondering, have you seen the cards? Have you gotten any of them? Had anyone come up to you, showing off the cards, asking you to sign them or anything? And what you think about kind of having your own trading card? That's got to be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I actually seen it. I think it's neat. I mean, I was surprised at first. I'm like, holy crap, I have a trading card. That's something I never expected, But, I think it's neat. And, I have had people, mail me and, ask me to, sign them. So, I do. And, I was just, every time I see it, I'm like, man, ain't that something?
Dave and I wish you the best of luck Saturday against Clay Collard, and again, you can watch on the UFC Fight Pass starting Saturday evening. So, Alex, once again, thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Thank you, guys.
Once again, that was the Spartan, Alex White, right here on Beyond the Cage, presented by Fight Chicks.